To be a desirable employee, you must first be a good student. I have taken classes from death and dying and geriatrics to abnormal and forensic psychology, which were my favorite classes and influenced my career path for going on to a master's degree in criminal justice. I have learned to do a literature review. I know how to find APA and scholarly sources that are peer reviewed. This is made easier by the Baker Library, the National Library of Medicine, and the Mayo Clinic, which are all good sources of information. I have written and presented videos to class, presenting projects in almost every class I have taken, working on projects with a small team and the entire class. Group projects have taught me how to deal with the interpersonal relationships with classmates, learning how to respectfully disagree, email properly, and keeping lines of communication in a small group open. That is a difficult skill that I have become much better at with the speech class I took at Baker. The videos I have made for class became one of my favorite things once I got the courage to present to a group. Being able to submit videos through Canvas was a challenge, but a necessary skill for school and life. I love the discussion board at Baker, and I feel I have learned a lot through there and that I have contributed to the other students. Discussion boards give us a place to share ideas, help each other with assignments, and I believe the discussion boards give us a place to help each other, just like in the workplace. That's a very important skill. I've learned how to make posters, s'mores, Google Slides, Canva, and Adobe because they are part of my Baker prerequisites. These formats are so helpful for every aspect of life, from saving baby pictures to making a newsletter for class. These different formats will help me present future ideas. I have also learned how to use StatCrunch, making charts and graphs with all kinds of input, plugging in the numbers, and you have some great visuals for newsletters, memos, and so on, and that has been very helpful. I have also learned how you have to know media, and when you look at media, you have to be able to pick through the media sites to see what's backed up by facts and what is just opinion or bias. Learning about biases was one of the most important things I did during my time at Baker. There's confirmation bias, where people just don't show up, non-response bias. That can also skew your numbers, so you need to know that and figure out how your numbers go in whichever direction. Students with personal goals can tailor their classes, like a researcher might emphasize their writing ability, data analysis, communication skills, and attention to detail. Those are all classes that you can take. Active listening is necessary to do any job well. Analysis, you have to critically think. That is necessary to be a productive employee. Problem solving is required for almost all jobs, and the ability to communicate effectively is needed to be a good employee, along with emotional intelligence. The ability to write oral and interpersonal communication skills are not only required for the workplace, but life as well. While writing, you must use fact-finding, reading, and evaluation skills of the literature that you're looking at. I have learned ethics, teamwork, engaging in research in a team, and quantitative literacy are skills that will help me long after I leave Baker. I will continue to take classes that strengthen the areas I am still trying to develop. I have an issue with adding fewer citations than I should, and I will continue to work on that as I start my new education at a new online college. The skills I have learned at Baker will help me get through a master's course at another online college. Psych 360 and other classes have prepared me for a career in psychology. I have taken my favorite course, Abnormal Psychology, and used it to open a door to forensic psychology, which I found most interesting. Interesting enough to change my major to criminal justice. Some mentally ill people end up in jail simply because there are no alternatives for their placement, making this a field I am most interested in. Any classes I have taken in this course will aid my career, and I truly love online learning. My areas of growth, I have less than 10, and I credit my time at Baker with that low number. My on-track numbers were 56, which tells you I am in the process of learning and where my educational level should be. The rest of the areas show strengths in my field. Those areas that I do not have strengths in, I'm still learning in my classes, so I'm sure writing skills and abiding by ethical standards, working effectively in groups, understanding research process, analyzing quantitative skills will help me a long way with quantitative data. That was not a strength I had until my few last math classes at Baker. I found the class to be very personal, even though it was a computer program. And along with StatCrunch, I learned a lot of skills that will help me in the future. Learning how to critique articles, journals, and studies is one of the most important things I have learned and will help me a long way with my future learning.